One thing I noticed about freestyling is that, you know how you have premeditated thoughts? Something's on your mind, but you don't speak on it, you just carry it around in your mind. It's like, if you can imagine an amusement park with like 5 different water slides beside each other. Imagine freestyling or just talking, speaking. Each bar that you climb is a rhyme. So you gotta climb these bars to get to the top of the water slide. And then, while you at top, you're like, okay, I got this idea, this idea, this idea, and this idea. Which one am I gonna slide down in this next rhyme that's about to fly out? So you pick. So you choose. If you doubt your ability to be a vessel and let the words flow through you, you may choke. You may bite your tongue. You may stumble or stutter a little bit. And even when you think you've messed up, if you figure out a way to swerve that word back around, you haven't messed up. The phrase falling off does not exist if you figured out how to fall graciously. Speaking of, come on in. Join us. I'm gonna shout out the homie Eric Stanley. Make some noise for Eric Stanley. Eric Stanley, I drew a picture of Eric when we were in church back in the day. He was playing the piano, and I had a Sharpie and a big pad, and I just drew him. And I gave him this drawing, not thinking anything of it. Years later, he's playing the violin in a video, and the painting, the drawing is framed on the wall. And that drawing was so far in the back of my memory, when I saw it, that's what it felt like. So when we were students at Virginia Commonwealth University, there was an event that was taking video submissions. And so we came together, and he was just playing the violin and I was spitting poetry. And wouldn't you know that somebody, not only somebody, multiple people nominated this poem and this violin music that Eric was freestyling. Speaking of freestyling, somebody nominated that for TEDx RVA, the first one, 2013. So here's a poem inspired by that moment. Here is the poem from that moment that inspired this moment. Every morning, I rise from the gallows, loosen my nightly noose, and step into my star-spangled shadow. A child of cotton coffins and tangled afros, hairs twisted into mysteries like history. Air of damaged roots and dangled lassos. I wade in the water of the astros. Riddles rippling out like roses in bloom. Fiddling feline fables of cows crashing on the moon. I'm in the kitchen of my mind chasing dishes and spoons. I'm a poultrygeist with a knife, cooking my own mother goose. Hey diddle diddle, I ate too much food, no floss, doggone, my canines are loose. Hey diddle diddle, I lost another tooth, yet tooth or no tooth, I smile. Like a child, and a child can smile like starlight. And starlight freckles the night skin, and I know the night skin is indigo. Whoa, it's behind you, can you see it? I know the night skin is indigo, but I can't let my child within die slow, so in I go within the black hole, and within this endless flow I inhale and implode. And out of darkness comes solar sisters and crimson suns rising and shining from celestial slums. Many paths lead to one milky way of cosmic cakes and honey drizzle cookie crumbs. For those cookies come kid comets coughing up cosmic colds. So from the darkness of the whole I explode to distill the children with my lunar lymph notes. I've been told every line that's in me is me, so my pen glows every time my cage words sing and cage words sting like Listerine. The flames of language linger to another league. The Translated tongues of my digits and thumbs are addicted to the diction of drums, but my drums become conundrums to some, so the answer is on the tip of my pun. I swim in galaxies of similes, the meteorite metaphors for infinity. I love, laugh, and live life like lightning just to theorize my thundering heartbeats. In the third eye of a brainstorm, I see my 6 sensual syllables settle into the seed root. Words bloom into green rhyme schemes, and from the garden of my throat grows poet tree, shaped by shade like days and dreams. We flower, flourish, and leaf this earth in peace as our caged words sing of freedom, but we won't overcome until we teach everyone to stop spending common sense on freedom. We think smart, but some speak dumb, like I'm in college and knowledge is so last. See, son. Like, see, son, I'm so dumb I remember to forget. That we collect intellect from surfing the internet, but some minds internets and get trapped in cans like sardines thrown on the shelf and sold with pork and beans, but it's all too fishy to me. I see Pisces drowning in the Milky Way galaxy. No wonder fish are rich with protein, and I'm a poor Aquarius that pours aquariums of H2O that transform into glaciers when it's cold. So I pray the water don't bury us, cause we make deals to buy Hot Wheels to carry us when greenhouse heat is nefarious. So I'm dodging waves, wishing times would change, but we still let the color of our scales vary us like one fish, two fish. Red fish, blue fish, black fish, new fish. I read that the truth is we didn't evolve from fish with dividends, but all got pockets that the government is fishing in, and the government gas. Bills don't get passed because constipated congressmen can't give a It's a stinky situation, but buy some X-Lax and mix it up with the facts. You get a batch of loosen the lumps in any lower back, spliggity splash. Stand up, wipe your butt flush. And let the oppressive system slip out of your system. Realize the past of your future is the present tense. So whether omnivorian or pescatarian, take the dye out of your diet and live. And if you lose faith, then phone a friend. And if you F up, never fail to think again, because that's the real meaning of repentance. Use your pen to unpin the ideas within and speak salvation with every sentence. Tense. That's for like the ending? Is that for like the ending? Your show, did it? I mean, we're still here. So. Right. It doesn't feel like the ending. Here's one thing that my mother taught me. Because I shared some of these poems with her. And I realized that I was unpacking all of the stuff that felt traumatic. And the feeling of being helpless, the feeling of having a parent who was a substance user and it was impacting his life. There was a vital moment in our life where my father, he was nowhere to be found. And I was upset. And I came to my mother and we were in the kitchen. And I remember that she was trying to get me right, and she was like, your father is sick. So, up until this moment, I was fire and brimstone towards my dad. Like, I was like, oh, you smoking, like, you know what you're doing to yourself. We love you, you're killing yourself, so it hurts me to love you. Like, there was all of this stuff going on in my mind. And when she said that, when she said he's sick, all of these years of this animosity towards him was released because I could put his actions in context with what he was stricken with in that moment. one thing that I learned from my father's battle with cancer is that he became more vulnerable to, he just let go of some of that guard that he walked around with every day. Like I said, mentioning the man at war with the mirrors in his skin. There's something about looking at yourself and being at war with yourself that he embodied that. And then when it was enacted upon him through the health system, I saw him as a soldier, and I let go of all of my finger wagging, and I just allowed myself to love him. My mother gave me permission to fully love my father, just by being her. So make some noise for Glory. Gloria. So here is a story about my father in those moments. It's called On Grief and Healing. Now, I wrote this poem after flipping through a book that was on grief and healing, and I landed on a page that was between Cornelius Eady and Terrence Hayes. And the man that Terrence Hayes dedicated the poem to was born the same year as my father. So I'm in this book to get over or to process the death of my father, and I see that number, and something in my mind was like, you need to be writing it. Like, if he did it, you can do it. So this stemmed from that. In February, I opened my grandfather's urn on the dining room table. In September, I opened my father's too. Mama say, son, life is crazy. We lost both of our fathers in the same year. I step out the house, and this voice says, you're missing him. I stumble across the yard and hope she's too far to see there's only two of us now. I'm stuck in a golden ray of the evening sun, and Dad would want me to move. I can hear him coaching from the sky. You either get busy living or get busy dying. I'm in a graveyard, reading poems of grief and healing. I finished Terrence Hayes' Blues Procession. He wrote the piece for his Uncle Bubba, born in 1953, same year as my father, who asked me to share his story as the cancer knotted the vein across his temple. I prayed with Mama real good as the ambulance escorts him to Richmond Community Hospital. I catch the pride in his voice when he said, this place used to be run by blacks. He said, when I die, burn my ass. We bring him home in a box under a wreath of flowers in the living room. Coffee table crowded with sympathy cards. I see us on separate couches, watching the VHS of his brother sobbing over their father's body. I keep my eye on the TV but wonder what Dad's thinking. He say, and that's something? We crying over his shell, but his spirit already gone. I'm with the homies in a circle around the fire. The ones who know death laugh the hardest, cheeks drawn back as curtains revealing teeth. Maybe courage is having the strength to find the fears that are taking up too much space and press delete. I deleted a video of my dad out my phone today, yet he lives through me. So the sky reveals his face. Little Robert, don't fear. Mama here, Papa here, Margaret Thomas Richard too. Gibsun clan we hand to you. We sit with Biggie Angelou. Teach the kiddies, hand them truth and the juice of honeysuckle. South of the border, Columbia summers. Rumbling thunder on 4th of July. Bottling rockets and sparkling eyes. Remember the times, apple tree in the front, dump cake inside. I'ma sip a cold one, I'ma lean on the ride. I'ma leave when I got them feel like it. Still fighting. My body the bottle, my body the glass, filled with spirit that empty again. Maybe the cancer, maybe the meds, maybe the doctors, maybe I'm dead, but you keep me alive, so it's gonna be all right. I see your might, put your suits in the cleaner, son, increase your stride. Invest in yourself and you gonna see your lights. We named you Rob, so believe your hype, man. When you write 10 and feel a tap on the shoulder, that's me. Yeah, that's me. My father has visited me in a dream, and I don't know if it's my subconscious, from when I flip through photo albums that my mom put together, and I look at his face, and I look at how he had so much weight and then lost so much weight by the end days. And I was in this dream, and he was in a bed in his apartment in Fate Towers. And in my right mind, I knew he was gone because I was there. But in the dream mind, he was there. So I said, Dad. He said, He was in the bed under thick comforters, purple, royal. I said, Dad. And he said, how you doing? Asked me how I'm doing. And I said, I'm doing all right. The spot beside him in the bed was open. So I began to sit on the bed, and then I laid in that spot. As soon as I fully laid in that spot, I woke up. I heard a ringing. It was my mom calling me. That was her spot that I was sitting in, that I was laying in. What are the chances that our reality here can influence our reality in here, and vice versa? What are the chances? It happened, it's real, so that was the chance. I encourage you all to take a risk. Every time you walk out of your house, you already taking a risk. You don't know what the world gonna throw at you, but you know what you can bring to the world. Something that nobody else got. The energy that you emit in this room right now, the energy that we've created in this room right now, it's unmatched. I mean, we even syncing up with the applause of the other exhibit downstairs, so you know it's real. Like, I want you to carry this energy with you wherever you go, especially when you're going through a hardship. Remember this moment. Come visit the library. Like, this is not even an ad for the library. Like, I came to this library and found books that I couldn't get at VCU. You know, there's something here that's very unique. And to see how somebody's checking in on somebody, two people who you may not think look like they're gonna talk to each other, all of a sudden are in the middle of a great passionate conversation. That happens here, I've seen it. And I encourage you to take risks and explore and meet somebody before the end of the night. Meet somebody that you don't know. We do this, so do it. Yeah, that's it, you can clap for that. So speaking of taking risks, I'm gonna try to freestyle about every piece in here. And yeah, this is what we do. Golden eyes, body full of so much hues, you gotta look at that crayon and know it was abused. Golden eyes. Said that man looked like clap clap. I put my fist in the sky and they looked at me, even though I know my skin was kind of rustic brown, brickish tinted, they said it was black black. Let's move on to the next. She said, what is wrong with grooving? I see the lime green on the side of her cheek blending with the wall paint in the back. Maybe that's why we in this room right here, because the colors they attract. What's on the left? Me during midterms, stress. On the count of three, can everybody just say, 1, 2, 3. We'll move on to the next. You get it. Have you ever stood on a rooftop as smoke billowed from the buildings behind? They said it was the end of days, but I said, you on a Gregorian calendar, we've been stopped keeping time. Black buildings in between, they ain't up in smoke. Which color, which hue could drip into your castle with no moat. I see a forbidden fruit. Somebody already took a bite. It looked like her jaw's a little puffy, so she may be listening to Biggie tonight. I'm gonna move on. I see that sunshine, it's like a halo. She could be calling up to the exit sign. It's so hot. I saw the word fire and thought about my brother Fies or Fire Fies or freestyling off top. Everybody thought he was wilding, but it's not about fire, even though I saw the fire. It looked like she can feel the fire. I hope she's not burning from a sexual encounter. I see that spiral on the side of her cheek. It looked like the rain coming down today before you showed up at this gallery show. Thank you for being here. Thank you for when you speak, you release to Grandpa Bud. Somebody asked me, why is he upside down? I said, that's my guardian angel. Looking down from the sky. I could rhyme angel with mango, but this color behind me is pastel. I pass an L 2 times so I can really win. 2 L's is a W if you put together the leg. I see stars. You know how many times I mentioned stars tonight? This looked like 2 lovers or 2 people who were just in a staring contest. That don't even rhyme, but sometimes, like Chance said, the truth don't rhyme. Sometimes the lies get how many views? Is this a bowl holding the love juice? I wouldn't sip that if it was love juice. Have you ever seen the moon look like a toenail clip? Have you ever seen Martin and Gina when she got hit? Because Cole clipped his toenail was so thick. This man is running from a brother he thought was a ghost. He could feel the shadow when he was running around that last 100 meters. He saw his shadow actually on the floor. He said, I gotta get out. I gotta win. This is the closest I got to winning. Every time I get close, somebody starts sprinting beside me. How do you get past me? I'm trying to move my legs fastly, and they ain't listening. You get that lactic acid. Oh, this is I'm failing my mission. But he made it. Just like that phone that started ringing, we saw where I got a Venn diagram on my mommy, my eye. We start blinging. What's that in the back? You holding a heart that's broken. She holding flowers that's wilting upward to her eye. It's like if you were to start crying and went to rewind. I thought it was my dad staring at me with this blank look on his face. He said, Robert, you're not half of me, you all of me, so that's why this picture had to take place. Is that wine inside that mug? Is this paint stick a sign of my love? Plastic, or maybe styrofoam. That's a bag of chips that I painted when Eric showed up in a room like, yo, you ready for this show? I was like, I think so, I don't know. We move on, leaping to the Japanese gardens of Maymont. I heard somebody in the magnolia tree got their neck loosened, so they haunt this land. I'm staring into the sky that reflects. It's so many pastels, I wonder what color I'ma choose next. Is that a fire hydrant with no holes? Is that the color I would like to wear on my latest fashion statement clothes? How many words gonna show up in your flows? You can compose another show like this show. This your first show, so you glow. Everybody know that my papa name was Robert and my mama name was Glow. I could rewind and sip from the mug and paint with the stick that went across the tops of our foreheads and it's thick. I looked at the chalk pastel, it said Hermitage or the Hermit Aged. I know that John Marshall was running behind us, but I flipped the page. They ain't kissing, they looking for the black hole inside of each other's pupils. I said, if you were studying what I showed to you, I would just say the same word again, pupils. What you looking at, uncle? That ain't my uncle, that's my grandpa. That's my great-grandpa. I need you to stand by. Is that black lightning coming down into the Japanese waves? It's some more fire for Faisal behind me. I almost hit the chair. Jeremiah, please stay. I heard this was a staircase. I heard this is what you look like on the way here if you was walking in the rain. Is this really an apple or is it just a mango or a fruit? Like, is it a fruit? Did they ever say that it was actually an apple? I don't know. Apple. I'm looking in the water where General Gabriel sat though, and I see the flickering tail of a tadpole. This one. A black man yelling in front of a white backdrop. That was me in a gallery when I didn't understand why this art that looked like my niece, who is only 11 years old, could have done it. But this one is so textured. I hope y'all don't leave hunted. I said hunted, so I lost the point. It was freestyling. It is freestyling. Now I'm just rambling. I'm focused on this man's hand. It looks like it wants to grab the mask off your face. When you showed up today, you was listening to what I had to say, but I hope you leave with something that'll have your eyes and your nose all wrinkled up. How many lines did it take? I don't know, I lost count, but you see this stuff is a woman whose face is lifted up as soon as you walk out the elevator. I see a strip that's red, I see one that's white, I see the spots on the side, and the stars, if they ain't dead, they must got hella haters because they still up there on a pedestal. I saw Saul Williams in 2010, and he was like, yo, there's a reason I posted up your pictures on my Facebook. I'm just telling you the story behind why I made this artwork so you can face hooks that's keeping them hanging. Every time you hear me in silence, I have words that are building up so I won't keep from delaying. We got more computers than magazines in the restroom. I flipped through the newspaper and I said, if you don't listen to Solar, you gotta zoom into this best tune. BST, we took out the vowels. I showed up spitting poetry like it was my house. There's so many holes in the wall, I had to get a cat for my mouse. Clicking on the screen. Every word I see is like one of them futuristic things where you can swipe over here, swipe over there. I pull it down like gravity did my hair. On my shoulders, which you know, it's not Sola, it's Eric Stanley with the violin, it's Jeremiah with the paint. Kevin, Chris, how many names can you name? I said it's Paul of Jesus. Rob, what you drew left me Brian and boy, why you got an X on your shirt? I'm praying to the weekend. Ooh. Tomorrow is the weekend, but today is the weekend. Tor, I am a member of I. As sure as Habib shows up to fry, right beside Fire 5, right beside Justin, who ain't rushing to hit you with a pin that was thrusting through air midpoint. You love that mag? You love that lace? I said, hopefully, when they want smoke, it's not a joint. If I was in a court, I wouldn't get an appoint because I know if in God we trust, then everybody is wishing for money to anoint their pockets. I said, if you trust what you showed up in every day, then you're gonna blast off like rockets. How many guessed that rockets was going around with pockets? I don't know, but it was just an option. Just one option. I'm off topic. Thank you for listening to me as I was rocking. Yeah. Email list. I got books. It's only 4, and they're only $10.
Only $10.
If you are interested in purchasing a painting, you gotta talk to my mom. You gotta talk to Flo.